What's up, guys? We're back with Monday Night Football action here in Week 17. We've got the Detroit Lions going on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to break down the injury reports, look at player props, and find the best value on the side and over-under for this game. Guys, Sunday went okay. Not ideal exactly. We ended up 3-2 on the day, so a winning day, no problem there. The Jets plus 10. The Jets, guys, the Jets are cooked. This is looking real bleak. That didn't work out at all. The Raiders minus 1.5, though. That one came through. The Colts, they played a horrendous game. A terrible decision by the Giants to even try to win, and when they did, so got to give them credit, I guess, but finished the day off strong with a couple of wins. That over in the Carolina-Tampa Bay game was good as gold. We also had the Jaguars to get the win there, and they came through for us as well, so a 3-2 day. We're not going to complain too much about that, although like I said, guys, it could have been a little bit better. Before we dive in, please smash that like button. Please go ahead and subscribe to this channel. You may not have noticed, but this is our secondary channel, more Stump the Spread. We have had some issues with the main channel. We'll be back up and running there in about 6 days, so we'll see how things go over there, but for right now, we are living here on the secondary channel, so please hit that subscribe button. Help us to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can get back on track. Our videos are all brought to you by StumpTheSpread.com. We have a team of experienced cappers over there for every major sport, currently covering NFL, college football, NBA, NCAA basketball, NHL, and the UFC. This is one of the best times of the year to sign up. We put a crazy amount of work into our premium content, and getting those picks right now in the heart of the best time of the sports season is a huge win for everyone. Click the link in the description to go over there and to sign up for our free email list to get the occasional free or premium pick straight to your inbox. Comment below with any bets you're looking at today, and we will give you our best advice on all of them. We're committed to responding to every single comment every day, so let us know anything you want to say about my picks, these videos, or anything you see here. As always, our favorite plays will be in the pinned comment down below. Now let's get into this Monday Night Football showdown. The Lions come into this game, guys, with a win there, from the Vikings. Detroit has to win this game to set up effectively a NFC North championship game there in Week 18. So big time hoping Detroit gets the win, just if for no other reason, so we get to see an insanely entertaining and competitive game there next week between two of the best teams in the NFL. Loving what we're seeing from Detroit right now. They come into this game fresh off of a bounce back 34-17 win there at the Chicago Bears. Goff was very good in the game, 336 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, 0 interceptions, only sacked 1 time. I know this all came against the Bears, so let's not, freak out too much, but it was very good stuff. We were happy to see such a good day out there. Jahmyr Gibbs stepping up now, as the sole feature back for this team. 23 carries, 109 yards. He had a touchdown in the game as well. He was also very active in the passing game, something we're going to be looking at when the player props section comes around here, guys. He had 4 catches, caught 4 out of his 5 targets for 45 yards, so very good stuff there. We love what we saw from Jameson Williams. He had a massive day, caught 5 out of 7 targets for 143 yards. 82 of those yards came all in one play, so that's cool. Not something you can count on happening every week, but very good stuff there. Amon-Ra St. Brown also had a good day, so really across the board, very happy with what we saw from the Lions offense. They didn't turn the ball over. They only gave up 1 sack. They really just took care of business against the Chicago Bears team that, not very good defensively for sure, and has had a plethora of issues this season. On defense, Detroit has been very banged up this season. It's a big concern for them as the playoffs, approach very quickly. They gave up 2 passing touchdowns and 334 passing yards there to Caleb Williams. That is a problem. They also struggled a little bit against Keenan Allen. The main wide receiver target there of Chicago had a big day, 141 receiving yards, caught 9 out of 13 passes, and had a touchdown catch. So, yeah, a little bit rough out there for the Lions secondary. Not a banner day for them by any stretch. They did keep Chicago from running the ball, but didn't really seem like that was a focus of the Bears in this game. They only had 2 sacks there against Caleb Williams, but they did generate 2 turnovers via the fumble. So that's something positive. And any game in the NFL where you give up only 17 points, I'm not going to be complaining too much. Your defense pretty much did what it was supposed to do. It kept the other team from scoring, and I mean, that's really the main focus. That's what more can you really ask? You hold them to 17 points, good, you did a good job. Over the course of the season, despite all the injuries that the Lions have gone through to their defense, they're still 7th in the NFL, giving up 19.9 points per game. So like I said, I'm not too low on this Lions defensive unit. It's just not as dominant as we saw them be capable of being in the early season. So looking at the injury report right now for the Lions, On offense, things are looking great. Everybody's healthy, ready to go. We see a fully healthy offensive line. Sam Laporta, he's had some injuries this season, but he's good to go. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, they're good to go. It does kind of suck that we're not going to see David Montgomery for a little bit. He's going to try and avoid surgery there for that MCL sprain, and we'll see. He's going to be trying to be coming back for the divisional round of the playoffs, which seems a little bit aggressive to me. And can he really be at full strength if he does make that comeback? But hey, more power to him. You don't want to see a guy missing this kind of, hopefully deep playoff run if you're a Lions fan that this team is, poised at least to have. On defense, they're fully healthy in terms of what starters they, were lining up to have last week. They are still having, that same unit. That's a good thing for sure. But man, when you look at this injury report and you see all those guys on the IR, it's crazy. It's a lot of red letters out there, guys. It's very, very rough stuff. But hey, they did a good job last week. We'll see if they can cobble together a good performance in this one. And like I said, over the course of the year, this has been a good unit. That next man up mentality has, at least served them relatively well. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the San Francisco 49ers, a team that has just had maybe the biggest wasted season of anybody in the NFL this year. It might be kind of close, but yeah, I mean, with McCaffrey missing basically the entire season, just tons and tons of other injuries. It's just been a rough year out there for San Francisco. They are not going to be sniffing the playoffs. Nothing close to that. They've lost their last 2 games in a row. They lost their last time out, guys, losing at Miami 29-17. Just, it's bleak, guys. It's really tough out there for the 49ers. I mean, Brock Purdy actually had a pretty decent day last week. 2 touchdown passes, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times, but passed for over 300 yards there against the Dolphins, which, I mean, I'm not going to throw you a parade for that, but it's not terrible. He also is starting to run the ball a little bit, which I guess let him go ahead, but like really what's the point at this, status in the year? So I don't know. We'll see what he can do out there, but it's looking tough out there for this offense. I mean, Debo at least had a decent day, almost 100 yards receiving, so that's cool. Caught 7 out of 9 targets, but it's been a bad season for him. Kittle looks amazing still. Got to give him plenty of credit. 106 yards, caught 8 of 9, targets last week. Very, very good stuff for Kittle. He's, doing his thing out there. Still one of the best blocking tight ends in the game. Like, he's a monster, but man, this has just been such a tough season for the 49ers in terms of injuries. Like, this is a shell of the team they were hoping to have at this point in the season, and obviously a much worse record than anyone would have projected coming into this year. On defense last week, it did not look great. They had 0 answer out there for Devon Achane. He had 120 rushing yards. He had 70 receiving yards. Only 1 touchdown, but man, a dominant game by him. They didn't do too many positive things against Tua. They had 0 sacks in the game against Tua. Like, just a bad day out there. They forced 0 turnovers against the Dolphins, gave up 29 points. Like, over the course of the year, the 49ers straight up not having a good time there on defense. They're down to tied for 20th in the NFL, giving up 23.3 points per game. It has just been absolutely brutal, guys. I mean, looking at the injury report right now, we see they're banged up once again. Spencer Buford is going to be out there on the offensive line. Colton McKivitz, he is also questionable, so we could see 2 offensive line starters out for this game. We do see Guerrero, he is back for this game, supposed to be good to go, so I guess they have a semi-real running back option ready to go, but that also has not been smooth sailing for them this year at all. So yeah, banged up there on offense, no doubt about that, especially on the offensive line. On defense, we also have seen a ton of injuries for the 49ers this season. Not something that has turned around yet or at this point. I mean, we do see Nick Bosa is going to play. Cool. Nick Bosa going to play some football. Not something I had on my bingo card. Not somebody that's very good at being available. We also see Ward. He's going to be out there at cornerback. And we also see Brown. He's going to be, he's questionable there at safety. So we'll see. There's a chance he plays in this game. It seems like it's a true questionable, though, and we're not going to know until much closer to game time. So that's a little bit annoying, but hey, what are you going to do there? Just in general, though, guys, things looking pretty bleak for this 49ers team. They're very much eliminated from playoff contention, and they are a banged-up unit at the moment. So looking at the weather report for this game, something you definitely want to take into consideration here, in late December. But it looks like it's going to be okay out there in San Francisco, guys. Low 50s, very little wind, and no rain in the forecast, unlike lots of the games that we had this weekend. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day out there for some football in San Francisco, so that should be fine. Looking at some trends for this game, we see Detroit, they are 10-5 against the spread this season. They are 8-7 to the over. San Francisco 5-10 against the spread this year. They are 8-7 to the over as well. So guys, looking at that total of 50.5, that's a pretty big number. We do see 2 pretty banged up defenses just in general. Like, this is not the Lions defense that we thought we were going to see at the beginning of the season. This is certainly also not the 49ers defense we thought we would saw at the beginning of the season. So I would take a look there at over 50.5. I think that's very live in this game. I'm not going to be putting in the pinned comment. I haven't been a big fan of the over-under plays, here down the stretch, but I do think, it's worth a look if you're determined to have an over-under play on this game. I really, really like, though. My main bet on this game, my main lean here is going to be the Detroit Lions -3.5. I know this can feel like a trap. Why are the books giving us this number? But they've hung plenty of bad numbers out there for the Detroit Lions this season, and Detroit just continues to show how good of a team they are, regardless of injuries, regardless of all that stuff. So certainly in this spot, guys, my favorite play on this game is going to be the Detroit Lions -3.5. I know that's kind of a chalky lean. I'm sure a lot of you are looking at that as well, but there's just no way I'm swerving away from that. Detroit -3.5 seems like excellent value to me, especially since they're in such a high pressure situation here where they have to win this game to set up that showdown next week against the Vikings in what will be one of the most exciting regular season finales in recent memory. So definitely like the Lions here to get the job done. I mean, they're just the better team on both sides of the ball at this point, and there's some injuries in there, but I don't think they're enough for me to get off of the Lions. Now, guys, take a second, hit that subscribe button. Remember, this is the new channel. We need you to help us build this one up. I really appreciate all the support and everybody coming over and watching these videos on the secondary channel. Also, hit that like button. It's great to see that number go up. I know you guys enjoy it. I know I enjoy it, and it helps get these videos promoted out to more and new people. So let's go ahead and do that. And now let's go ahead and dive into some player props. And first up, guys, I like Juwan Jennings here under 59.5 receiving yards at +110. He's been under that number in 4 out of the last 5 weeks. He's got a pretty low catch percentage, in relation to the amount of times he's targeted. That doesn't go great for him. So I think this is a game where he could definitely have a bit of a rough day. I also like Kittle here to have a very good day once again. He's one of the best and really only reliable pass catching options that they have right now for the 49ers. I know 70 receiving yards can feel like a lot, but he's been over that number in 3 out of the last 5 games. Clearly their best offensive player still. He's healthy coming into this game. I think Kittle to get to 70 receiving yards is extremely, extremely reasonable in this spot. And onto one of my favorite props on this game, guys. I like Gibbs over 29.5 receiving yards. I said we were going to mention him, and here it is. That's at even odds. He had 45 receiving yards last week and 83 the week before. Over the last 3 weeks in a row, he's been over this number, and yeah, he's getting plenty of targets. San Francisco gave up 70 receiving yards to A-Chain last week, and I think we're going to see Gibbs be very active there in the passing game once again. No reason to not get him the ball, out of the backfield like that, and they're going to be looking to get him the ball in space any way they can. I think this is a great spot for Gibbs here. This is a play that's definitely going in the pinned comment. I also like Amon-Ra St. Brown to have a good day, guys. Over 69.5 receiving yards, -135, not my favorite price, but he's been over that number in 3 out of the last 4 weeks. He's getting tons of targets here as the regular season winds down. This is a big pressure spot for this team. They're going to be going to their best and most reliable players. I think we see Amon-Ra St. Brown have a pretty good day in this one, and we've got some banged up guys there in the San Francisco secondary, so that definitely helps out with that number as well. On the same token there, guys, I like Goff to have a big day. Over 249.5 passing yards. So just to get to 250 passing yards at -110. He's been over that number in 4 out of the last 5 weeks. He's been kind of killing it recently, to be honest. So like what we're seeing from Goff, I don't think he's going to have that rough of a time against, any part of the San Francisco defense necessarily. So I think this is a good time to go ahead and hop on the Goff over passing yards. And last but not least, guys, we're looking back at Gibbs here. I like him over 18.5 rushing attempts at -115, easily over that last week. I don't see them going away from him in this one. Obviously, he's the main running back option with Montgomery out now, so that that's been a tough look. But I think this is a good spot. He's going to get plenty of action both in the passing game and the running game, so I expect him to have a very good day in this one. That's all we've got in this one for Monday Night Football, guys. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets. Subscribe to the channel. Everybody's new over here to the secondary channel, so please take a second and subscribe, and let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate or any other sports out there. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I'll be answering every single question, as I always do. Thanks for watching. You can click the link in the description to check out stumpthespread.com, and we will see you guys tomorrow for more sports betting action.